Down, sir.
What do you mean is that the mountain I'm going to die on?
To put you in jail for you're in violation
for
of
what?
Statute.
So what would you like me to tell? So under threat of arrest, I'll give you my ID if that's what you want.
I want you to leave. That's all I'm asking you to do is leave the premises of these schools.
So you're going to throw me off? I'm not on the school premises. I'm across the street, sir.
On November 9th, 2021, a journalist and his son were standing on a public sidewalk in Panama City, Florida, recording a UPS facility. Within minutes, the Bay County Sheriff's Office had 5 patrol cars on scene. They arrested both men under Florida Statute 810.0975, a school safety zone law that a federal court had already declared unconstitutionally vague 13 years earlier. Jason Gutterman spent 2 days in jail for holding a camera on a public sidewalk. The charges were dismissed at his first appearance before a judge. 4 years later, he filed a massive federal civil rights lawsuit. 7 counts. 6 officers named individually, the city of Lynn Haven, and the sheriff of Bay County. This case is still active right now. Let me show you what happened. The journalist goes by Amagansett Press. His real name is Jason Gutterman. He runs a First Amendment audit channel. He goes to publicly accessible locations with a camera, records from public property, and documents how government employees respond. His son Ben was with him that day. They set up on the sidewalk outside a UPS facility on Minnesota Avenue. Across the street was A. Crawford Mosley High School. It was a Tuesday afternoon, about 2:30 in the afternoon. Professional camera equipment on tripods, obviously photographers, and the first person who had a problem with it was a UPS employee.
Y'all need some help?
Excuse you?
Y'all need some help?
Not at all.
Okay. What's going on?
You need some help?
No, I mean, I was just wondering why you're videotaping me leaving work. I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't understand why you pulled over to ask me if I need help.
Well, I mean, you're just like, cameras like shooting straight at me. Just seeing, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's a lot of cameras shooting straight at you. If you do that all the way home, you're never going to get there.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, most cameras don't have a person standing next to them, you know?
Well,
I mean, I was just wondering what's up. Ain't no big deal. I mean, you know, if you saw somebody doing this at record your tag as you're leaving work, would you not be curious to stop and talk to him?
no, not at all. I'm more worried about the guy I don't see.
The guy you don't see? Okay. Well, so is it cool if I take y'all just the same, man?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm not your boss.
Well, I mean, I was just, I'd like to ask your permission, because I'd be considerate.
No need to ask permission.
Okay, that's
do
cool.
do as you do.
All right, that's cool.
As you were.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, you do the same,
If there's
man.
anything y'all need help with, just let us know. You need a package or something, I'll hook you up.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
All right, got you. Let me send this upstairs real quick.
That exchange is totally fine. A private citizen can walk up and ask what you are doing. The problem is what happened next. That employee went back inside and called the Bay County Sheriff's Office. He asked the government to come deal with 2 men exercising their constitutional rights on a public sidewalk, and the government showed up in force.
How you guys doing? How you guys doing again?
What can I help you with?
What can I help you with, sir? I need to know
Absolutely
what you
nothing.
guys- what are you guys doing?
I asked you, what can I help you with?
I had a complaint, so I'm following up on it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to stop you.
What are we doing? That's what I'm asking. Are you guys here at the church, or what are we doing? Okay.
Oh, he's got his lights on for us. Exciting.
Well, at least he actually put his lights on.
Yeah, that's
before I
good.
got in the middle of the
Congratulations.
street.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's not used to not getting answers. I think he came from over there at the school.
He did. Yes, he did.
I got a unit coming.
Got a unit coming?
I
Good. Is there any reason I should have to answer questions? See, you don't answer them either. Right on. Good for you. Isn't that a unit? It's got a unit here.
An officer can respond to a complaint. He can ask questions. That is a consensual encounter. But when he activates emergency lights and calls for backup over 2 men standing on a sidewalk with cameras, he is converting that into an investigative detention. Under Terry versus Ohio, an investigative stop requires reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. 2 men on a public sidewalk with cameras is not reasonable suspicion of anything, and refusing to answer questions is a constitutional right, not a crime. This deputy escalated because he was frustrated. Frustration is not a legal basis for a Terry stop.
Good idea.
I appreciate you, sir.
You got a 0 coming out? Is it a supervisor you have coming out, sir? See, that's the way life should be. You only answer the questions you choose to answer, right? I'm proud of you.
It's 416.
From the school with
Oh, okay.
cameras.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Across from the school with
Yeah.
cameras? Well,
Yeah.
all right. So what does that mean?
Well, to be honest with you, there's actually a Florida statute in reference to the 500-foot safety zone of the schools.
Okay.
And we're just trying to figure out who's... You have to admit that you're kind of suspicious looking out here across from school,
You
right?
think I'm suspicious looking?
Well, not you personally, sir. Your activities.
I'm working on a video about UPS.
Okay, well, that's all you had to tell the man. That's what he was asking.
Okay, well, that's all you had to tell the man. That's what he was asking.
Well, I think it's obvious. I don't have
Well-
to tell. I actually don't have to tell him anything. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm trying to be courteous with you.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm being rude to you at all, sir.
I didn't say you were.
Okay.
And can I ask name and badge number, please?
Yeah, actually, I'm Sergeant Granger, number 48.
Okay. And
43,
can I
I'm
get
sorry,
your
43.
43. Can I get your name and badge number
Derek
there?
Swan, 128.
I couldn't hear you last name.
Derek Swan, 128.
Thank
so
you, sir.
you'll know, the guy from UPS, he called me on my phone. So.
Well, then why don't you go speak to him?
Sir, I came out to speak to you. You would not answer. You're saying more now than you did earlier. No one would say anything, so I called myself.
You're saying more now than you were saying earlier as well. Yeah, you are. Well, it's all on video. So, can I help you gentlemen with anything?
No, we're just trying to figure out what was going on. So you're across the street from the school, and then Florida statute actually forbids people from being within 500 feet of the school without legitimate purpose.
That's not true.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
So every one of these cars driving down this street that doesn't have a legitimate purpose at the school is violating a statute?
They have legitimate purpose, sir. They're picking these kids up from school.
Not every one of them going down this street.
Okay. Okay. There
Okay.
actually is a statute in reference to that. And if you would like, I can get you a statute.
So
number you can
anybody that
look at.
does not have a legitimate purpose with what? With the school, or just a legitimate purpose in life?
Legitimate business being around the school.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. And so that's all we're trying to do is establish that. We're looking out for the safety of the kids.
what, do you know what the statute number is on that?
No, but I can look it up for you. if
Yeah,
you'd
I'd
like
love to read it.
Absolutely.
Sure, appreciate you. Thank you.
Give me just a moment.
You got a Florida statute. You can't be within 500 feet of a school without legitimate purpose. That doesn't sound very constitutional. That sound constitutional to you, sir? See, there you go, clamming up again. I thought we were having a conversation now. If you're going to give me the silent treatment, I'm going to do the same right back at you. So do you want to be a gentleman and have a conversation? Or do you want to just be silent with each other? All right. Well then, I'll tell you to kick rocks. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Adios. Don't bother me anymore. He's going to send you back to work in a minute, so you might as well just take off. You're really not serving any function here.
Florida Statute 810.0975 is the school safety zone law. It makes it a second-degree misdemeanor to enter or remain within 500 feet of a public or private school during the period from 1 hour before school starts until 1 hour after it ends, unless you have legitimate business or other authorization. The phrase legitimate business is never defined anywhere in the statute, and in 2008, a federal court in the Southern District of Florida heard a case called Gray versus Kohl. Thomas Gray was handing out Bibles on a public sidewalk near a school in Key Largo. Officers told him to leave under this statute. He sued. The court ruled that subsections 2A and 2B were unconstitutionally vague. The legitimate business language gave officers total subjective discretion to decide who belonged on a public sidewalk. The court permanently enjoined enforcement. That means officers in Bay County arrested Jason Gutterman under provisions that a federal court had already declared unconstitutional 13 years earlier. Now, Gray versus Kohl was in the Southern District, and this arrest was in Bay County in the Northern District. Different federal district. Defendants will argue it was not binding precedent. But that is a very thin defense when you are arresting someone under language a federal judge explicitly said was too vague to enforce. And look at the facts. Jason told Sergeant Granger multiple times he was a photojournalist working on a UPS story. Even if the statute were valid, he met the requirement on its face. He had legitimate business. Granger just did not accept it.
Just to give you a little, you want to go with the school thing? This is my son.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not out here with my son doing anything nefarious.
Sir, I've asked
I'm
you
out
for
here working.
credentials. If you can provide credentials.
You told me I'm not being detained and I'm not breaking any laws, so I don't feel like I have any reason to give you any credentials. What would be the purpose of that? I literally am standing here with my camera facing that way, working on a story about UPS, and you gentlemen have all decided to come here and harass me today. That's what's going on.
Well, we didn't just decide to come.
Just because they don't know, they want to know why I'm here. That's up to them. You know, that's. I don't have any lawful reason to explain myself to anybody.
Other than the fact that you're across from two schools.
What does the statute say? The statute says be around a school without a lawful purpose. Now, the reason for that statute is to prevent people from doing nefarious things around school property.
You're exactly right. I agree with that.
I am a photojournalist working on a story, and I am out here taking video of a neighboring.
Credentials, sir.
I don't have what credentials would you like?
To prove that you're a journalist.
What would that look like?
I have no idea. Show me some kind of credentials.
There is no such thing. The government does not issue press passes. There is no such thing. I could print one up on my computer and show it to you. There's no such thing as a press pass.
Okay.
I've explained to you what I'm doing. I told you what I'm doing.
Okay. Is this the mountain you're going to die on, sir?
What do you mean is that the mountain I'm going to die on?
To put you in jail. You're in violation.
For what?
Statute.
So what would you like me to tell? So under threat of arrest, I'll give you my ID if that's what you want.
I want you to leave. That's all I'm asking you to do is leave the premises of these schools.
So you're going to throw me off? I'm not on the school premises. I'm across the street,
You're within
sir.
500 feet, as I've already explained to you, the school safety.
With a legitimate business purpose. Sir, I'll give you my... Wait, hold on. I told you...
Get your hand out of your pocket.
Three legal failures. First, there is no government-issued press credential in the United States. The First Amendment does not protect journalists specifically. It protects every person's right to record in public spaces. Granger admitted he had no idea what journalist credentials would look like, then arrested a man for not producing them. You cannot arrest someone for failing to show you something that does not exist. Second, Jason stated his legitimate business purpose multiple times. He said he was a photojournalist. He said he was working on a story about UPS. Even under the statute as written, he met the requirement. Third, the charges were dismissed at Jason's first appearance before a judge. The government looked at the case and immediately dropped it. That tells you everything about whether probable cause existed. It did not.
From the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan, majored in photography in 1992. I was a staff photographer for the New York Times for years. Okay? I was a fashion photo assistant for many very famous fashion photographers over the years. And this is what I do. I do video and photo work. Okay, I also spent 14 years as a hotel manager in New York. I'm not a criminal, okay? And I apologize to you if I came across having any kind of an attitude and not answering your questions fast enough. I accept responsibility for that, and that's what I did wrong.
And you'll be able to explain that at first appearance tomorrow morning if you can do that.
You're gonna make me sleep in jail tonight, sir?
Yes,
Please don't.
that's what we do.
Please, sir. Can't you give me an appearance ticket? I will show up in court, please.
Actually, I
Please,
can't,
I'm
because you're
begging.
not local.
Listen.
If you had a local address, I could, but your address on your driver's license is not South Dakota or something.
Sir, please. Don't lock me up overnight, man. Please, you don't know my history.
Before we continue, if you
Sir, I have very serious anxiety and panic issues. Please don't lock me up.
What? I can take them out.
I will show up.
I can take them
I
out.
promise you, I will show up.
Take
You
them
can
out.
keep my equipment.
We're not keeping your equipment away from that.
Yeah, but sir, please don't lock me in the jail, sir. Please. I'm begging
Oh
you.
my
I didn't
God,
break the
sir,
law.
please.
I begged you to leave.
I will get out of here. You'll never see me again.
Sir.
Please, sir. Please. I'm begging you. I swear to you, I have anxiety and panic attack
I'll
issues,
be
but I'm
with
just
you.
finally getting a
Please,
handle on
sir,
it.
please don't arrest
I don't need to sleep in a
Please.
jail cell tonight. Please, sir, I'm begging you. Please.
Please, I'm begging you too.
Sir, I
Please.
promise you, I am not trying to break the laws. And I am not
They're
a
not my
criminal.
laws, they're state of Florida.
But sir, I'm not
just a law enforcement
I'm
officer.
not
I
a
don't write
criminal,
them,
sir. Please. I'm begging you. Please. I'm begging you. Like one man and another, please. I am not breaking the law. And I do not want to spend the night in jail. Please. Please.
That footage was obtained through a Florida public records request by Jeff Gray, a First Amendment activist who runs Honor Your Oath. Without that request, nobody would have heard what happened in the back of that patrol car. Jason told the officers his entire professional history, staff photographer for the New York Times, 14 years as a hotel manager. He apologized. He offered to appear in court voluntarily. He asked for an appearance ticket. He begged them not to lock him up because of his anxiety disorder. They said no. Jason spent approximately 2 days in county custody. At that point, those officers knew exactly who they were dealing with. They knew he was a professional photographer. They knew he had a reason to be there, and they chose to jail him anyway. That is not a mistake. When a government official punishes you for exercising a constitutional right and continues to punish you after they know there is no basis for it, that is retaliation. On September 1st, 2025, Jason and Benjamin Gutterman filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. Gutterman versus City of Lynn Haven, case number 525 CV230, Northern District of Florida. The legal vehicle is 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, the federal statute that lets you sue government officials who violate your constitutional rights under color of law. 6 officers named individually: Sergeant Granger, Derek Swan, John Summerall, Josh Newsom, Austin Crosby, Michael Ruthven, plus the City of Lynn Haven and Sheriff Tommy Ford. Count 4 matters because failure to intervene means even if an officer did not personally make the arrest, he is liable if he stood there and watched it happen when he had the power to stop it. Count 5 is the Monell claim, which argues the violations were not rogue officers, but the result of a municipal policy or custom. That is the one the city does not want going to trial because that is where the real money comes from. In February 2026, Chief United States District Judge Alan Windsor ruled on the defendant's motion to dismiss. The court gave Newsom qualified immunity because he arrived after the other officers, and the complaint did not show he personally knew the arrest lacked probable cause. The city and sheriff were terminated. But the dismissal was without prejudice. The court was saying, your complaint is not detailed enough yet, but you can fix it. And that is what the plaintiffs did. They filed an amended complaint. Defendants are currently fighting to dismiss it. The case is very much alive. And the remaining officers, Granger, Swan, Summerall, Ruthven, and Crosby, are still in this fight. I see this pattern over and over. Officers cannot find a real crime, so they dig up an obscure statute, misapply it, and arrest someone. Then the system sorts it out. But the system sorting it out means someone spends days in jail, gets a mugshot that lives on the internet forever, has to hire a lawyer, and then the charges get dropped because there was never a case. The only reason that does not work here is because Jason Gutterman had the resources and the stubbornness to spend 4 years fighting back. Most people do not. Most people eat the mugshot and move on, and the officers never face any consequences. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 exists specifically to prevent that. It is the mechanism that holds government officials financially accountable for constitutional violations. And cases like this are exactly why it matters. If you want to understand your rights during police encounters, I break down cases like this every week. Hit subscribe. And if officers have ever violated your constitutional rights, talk to a civil rights attorney in your jurisdiction. The statute of limitations on Section 1983 claims is typically 2 to 4 years depending on the state. Do not sit on it. I am George Graves. Stay informed. Know your rights.